All right, this is Dan with Pain Free You. Since I'm sitting out here, I'm going to shoot a second video today. Today's topic is, you don't have to do this perfectly. Before I dive into that, let's take a couple of nice breaths. Breathe in the comfort. Breathe out the pain. Breathe in the confidence. Breathe out the doubt and the skepticism. Just keep on breathing nice and calm. Let your body relax. So today's topic is going to be, you don't have to do this perfectly. I get a lot of communications from people through Facebook Messenger, emails, comments, and it's interesting. I will hear people kind of quoting me back and saying, well, I can't seem to do this. I know I'm not supposed to focus on my pain, but I kind of am obsessed to keep on touching it or poking it or rubbing it. Is that gonna slow things up? And I can't seem to stop it. So does that mean I'm not going to get better? Or, if I do this, would that be better? And there's no definitive answer I can give you. One lady's got some skin or pain in the forehead area, and she touches it and looks at it and touches it and looks at it. She wanted to know if she should cover it up. And I don't know if that would help her. If it helps minimize the fear, then it's probably a good idea. If she looks in the mirror and sees a bandage and goes, oh my God, the first reaction when she sees it is, did I hurt myself? Like, am I covering up an injury? Right? It all depends on the person. There's no one answer to many of these questions. The question I'll ask you to turn it around towards yourself is, does this question I'm posing help you understand TMS better? Accept that that's what's going on for you more deeply. Does it calm your thinking down? Does it remind you that, hey, I'm actually okay? Or does it inflame your thinking into saying, wow, I've really got a problem here? People are like, well, what about this? What about that? Some people put ice on, some people put hot packs on, some people will still get massages. Look, Sarno said, stop with the physical treatments. Why? Because it confuses the brain. We want to teach the brain that our body is safe, that there's nothing wrong physically that needs to heal or be treated. So if you are going for, a massage regularly, or acupuncture, or any other physical treatment like physical therapy or whatever, what's the message the brain's getting? This is in the body, that the problem's in the body. And look, I get it, you can get some temporary relief. But ask yourself, is the relief anything more than temporary? Because if a massage could heal chronic back pain, massage therapists would be the most highly paid people in the world, and you'd only have to go once or twice, right? I get it. It feels good. And if you're doing it for self-care because you just love being pampered and spoiled, great. But keep in mind, you got to be very clear with yourself that this is not the cure. It's just self-care. It's showing myself kindness and love, but it's not doing a darn thing for curing the TMS. And as Sarno theorized, it might be holding you back. It may be convincing your brain to stay focused on the physical and not the psychological. So you don't have to do this perfectly. You don't have to make it through an entire day without ever thinking about or noticing your symptoms or your pains. It's impossible. I like the phrase more often than not. If you can't make the switch overnight, take baby steps, a little bit at a time. A few weeks from now, you'll be much, much more along the lines of incorporating the things I like to share. So, I don't know. You don't have to do this perfectly. Don't require yourself to do this perfectly, because in essence, when you don't do it perfectly and you find yourself upset with your pain when you're supposed to be indifferent, or when you find yourself thinking about or focused on your pain when you're supposed to be focused on living your life, and when you can't do the things that I've recommended well enough, what do? You beat the crap out of yourself. And then you decide, which was yesterday's video, you decide, I'm never going to be able to do this because I can't do the things Dan's telling me to do. And the last thing I want to do is make you feel worse about yourself. That's not the case. What I want you to do is be kind, patient, compassionate, soothing. Remind yourself that you're actually better than you think you are, as far as your body's already okay, and you can handle these emotions. You can handle life, right? And oh, by the way, you don't need a perfect life to get better either. I had a conversation with somebody, I think it was last night, where she just kind of felt like, yeah, I'm going through a divorce, but he's still in the house, and as long as he's around, I'm not getting better. Again, yesterday's video, don't decide that as long as X, Y, and Z is going on that you can't get better. You can. I'm proof. I got better in the middle of my marriage falling apart, but well before she and I had decided to call it quits. So despite all the stress and the tension and the challenges I had with my marriage, I got better in the middle of it. Why? Because I dialed in these things that I talk about as the key concepts to getting better. I think I'm going to call it the roadmap to recovery. I like that phrase. I don't know if you like that. Let me know if you do. But we want to train your brain to end the pain. That's all it is. It's a training process. You don't have to heal anything, right? So train your brain to end your pain and follow this roadmap to recovery. But you don't have to do it perfectly. If you're driving from here to California, there's not one perfect way. There's all sorts of side roads and detours that you can take. And that's exactly what, not doing this perfectly is. You're just taking a detour. You're still moving in the right direction. You will still get from Pennsylvania to California. The scenery is going to be a little bit different. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But you're going in the right direction. So follow this roadmap. Let me know what you think. But please don't demand of yourself perfection in trying to implement these things I talk about, because that's just the perfectionist, and beating yourself up is only going to convince you and your brain that you're not going to be able to do it. So there is no perfect. You're not perfect. I'm not perfect. That's okay. Perfectly okay. So I'm not saying that to insult you, but none of us are perfect. And we don't have to be to end our symptoms or get better from TMS. Or we don't have to be perfect to lead a happy life either. So leave me a comment. Tell me what you think. Was the video helpful? Love you guys and gals, and we'll see you in the next one.